So how's it going, UECs? We're talking about some good weather going on right now.
Yeah, it's good weather, you know. We're just getting some of those hit and miss storms here and there once in a while.
Yeah, we are getting those sea breeze thunderstorms. We're going to continue to get them tonight and even into tomorrow, maybe for your game day, unfortunately. But lower 90s, mid 90s maybe, but we're sitting pretty. Little hot, but, you know, comfortable.
It's hot, but it's not as hot as it was 2 weeks ago with those triple digits.
Absolutely. Sure. But, you know, we're talking about all these hot temperatures. Let's talk about the possibility for snow up into the upper central plains.
Yeah, next week, especially towards next weekend, it's going to be fall is finally going to make a push down in the United States. A very strong cold front is going to push all the way down from Canada.
Absolutely. And we're talking about light frost, maybe even some snow into parts of North Dakota, South Dakota, into Nebraska, maybe even as far east as New York.
Oh, yeah, it's the snow. I mean, we're seeing 30s all throughout. Some crops can be damaged, but they're saying it's going to be really minimal. But, you know, actually a lot of this cool air will dip all the way down into the Mid-South. So.
Absolutely. And, you know, we know you think we're crazy talking about all this snow in the middle of summer. We're looking at those lower upper 90s. But what are we looking like for game day tomorrow, U-Box?
It's going to be beautiful out there.
Absolutely. It's going to be beautiful, and we're going to be hoping for a Florida State win. We're going to go out, give you a quick preview of the show. Shane, how's it looking?
Thanks, guys. Did I just hear you say snow? We haven't got any of that around here. It's just too hot. We've got a high today of 94 in Tallahassee, and even warmer, 97 in Bainbridge. A little cooler down at the coast. Appalachia only made it up to 91. In addition to being very hot today, it was also quite wet around most of the Sunshine State, which may need to be trading in that name for the rainfall state in just a matter of moments, because we've got rain from Pensacola to Tallahassee, all the way down the peninsula to Miami. More on that to come in the Around Florida segment. Those radars are very busy today. So what's the headlines looking like? Well, here in Tallahassee, we're going to see scattered thunderstorms overnight, and that's going to continue into tomorrow. Not going to be raining all day long, but just in case, you'd better bring your rain gear to the game. And that rain's going to continue into next week. So how cool is it going to get tonight exactly? Well, stay tuned to find out more. Right now, let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much, Shane. One thing that we want to remind you on those headlines, bring your rain gear to the game. Make sure your rain gear doesn't include umbrellas, because as we know, Doak Campbell Stadium ain't about the umbrella life. But let's go ahead and talk about Hurricane Norbert and the California surf that's going to come with it.
Yeah, the surf from that hurricane is going to be very intense, so all those surfers are probably loving all those waves. And there's also even a chance for some coastal flooding from San Diego up to Point Conception.
Absolutely, and the surfers may love those waves, but we also want to make sure that you're safe. There are going to be some dangerous rip currents going on with those waves, so we want to make sure you're careful. Norbert, right now a Category 1 hurricane.
Yes, it's a Category 1, but it's expected to die off, especially as it enters those cooler waters off Baja California.
Absolutely, and Norbert and the remnants of Dali out in Mexico are going to continue to bring some moisture, maybe some flooding, especially down into the West Coast and down to Mexico. But we will go ahead and bring it back home to Tallahassee. Take it over, Molly. What do we see locally?
Thanks, guys. Today we started off at a low of 73, which is almost seasonal. Got up to a high of 94. Pretty warm for this time of year, but nevertheless, there might be an end in sight soon. Current conditions, 86 outside. Some thunder around in the area. As you can see the picture, you can see some storms off to the east of our area. That will be continuing on into the night. You can see right now 86 in Tallahassee, 76 in St. Mark, and 73 in Perry. A little bit rain cooled, as I said, from those storms over in that area. Visible satellite, you can see those storms moving up the coast into our area. A little cloudy. Those are the source of the rumbles of thunder that will be continuing to stick in during tonight. Look at the satellite again. The whole peninsula of Florida pretty much covered by rain, and that's been the story for pretty much the past few days here. Futurecast, as you can see, there's a low situated off the coast of Jacksonville that is bringing in a source of moisture, along with the moisture that is coming in from the Gulf, which is bringing in a lot of fuel for the storms. The good news is those storms that are sticking around tonight will be clearing out by the morning. In time for tomorrow, it'll be a mix of sun and clouds for the game. Make sure you bring your rain gear, but no umbrellas though, as they're not allowed in the stadium. So bring a poncho, a couple bags to put your phone and stuff in to keep those dry. Just make sure that we stay prepared for all of those things. Tonight's forecast is going to be about 72. Scattered thunderstorms with some locally heavy rain. Again, clearing out by the morning. Tomorrow is going to be 91 degrees, pretty warm, just not quite as warm as today. About a 40% chance of rain. Like we said, we don't really know for sure if it's going to rain at the game or not, so make sure that you stay prepared for that and come out to cheer on the Seminoles. The week ahead, like I said, going to be 91 tomorrow, but the good news is that there's a front coming in on Sunday, and that's going to be a major source of rain, and it's going to stall out over our area, bringing lots of rain Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday, clearing out just in time for the end of the week when we return to a more seasonal pattern. Now let's take a look around the southeast with Jay.
Thank you, Molly. Around the southeast, it's been quite a washout over Florida. You start seeing a lot more showers pop up later on Friday. You see showers in Orlando. We saw some couple showers in Tallahassee, and also parts of Miami. You see a lot more showers as well. That's going to be a continuing trend going into tomorrow and into Sunday. So be prepared for that. For current conditions, we are seeing 84 in Tallahassee, 78 in Orlando, 86 in Miami. Going over to New Orleans, there are getting a couple more showers as well. You're seeing 84, but you see where a lot of the more sun is in Montgomery and in Atlanta. That's because we have a lot more cold fronts coming in. Current relative humidity, 67 in Tallahassee, 87 in Orlando, 67 in Savannah. I'll show you a little more what's happening with that with the water vapor radar. You're actually a lot more moisture start curling up in Tallahassee and parts of Orlando. Much southeast, seeing a lot more moisture start getting bubbled up all across the southeast. Only because you see right here, you see a lot more dry lines coming in over most of the southeast, which is going to bring in a lot more sunny conditions, but a lot cooler temperatures as well. So we get a lot more of a break from all the sun and heat that we've been getting across the southeast. For your futurecast, we're seeing 81 for Tallahassee right now. Going to tonight, going into tomorrow morning, you're seeing a lot more cooler temperatures, seeing 78. That's a lot more of a break from all the sun and heat we've been getting for the past couple of days. Saturday at 5 o'clock, you're seeing 88 in Tallahassee, 93 in parts of Atlanta and parts of Georgia as well. So again, we are seeing a lot more of a cool down compared to the past couple of days. When you go into Sunday, Sunday morning, you're seeing 75 in Tallahassee, 78 in parts of the central Florida. So again, a lot more of a cool down. I know you're getting a lot more break from all the sun and the heat, like I said before. Tonight's forecast, 73 in Tallahassee, 70 in Montgomery, 77 in Orlando. Quite the cool down from the past couple of days. Again, with all the moisture that's in the area, that's making temperatures a lot more cooler, a lot more moist, and I know a lot more weather that we're seeing that's not as sweaty weather. Going forward tomorrow, you're seeing 94 in Tallahassee, 93 in Orlando, 90 in Miami. Even though you're seeing that 94 in Tallahassee, it's going to be a lot more cloudy weather and a lot more rain coming to the area. So it might be a washout for the game tomorrow, unfortunately. But make sure you have the ponchos handy just in case rain does show up in the area or you have any tailgating plans for Tallahassee. Now let's send it back off to the desk with the dynamic duo at the desk, Braden and Ulysses.
Thanks, Jay. As Jay was talking about, tailgating weather for tomorrow, scattered storms all around.
Absolutely. We are going to have those hit and miss showers throughout the day, mix of sun and clouds. And it's not just going to be us. There's going to be moisture all over the place on the East Coast football games.
Yeah, all the East Coast and the Southeast, they're all, just depending where you're at, either be hanging out with a water bottle or an umbrella.
Absolutely. Ole Miss versus Vandy, Akron versus Penn State, and FAU at Alabama. All tomorrow, and all a decent chance of rain around game time.
Yes, so just remember all those tailgaters, you may have to cover up those hot dogs with a tarp or that barbecue.
Absolutely. And, speaking about rain, we're also seeing a lot of moisture down in the Iberian Peninsula where we might see some flash flooding.
Yes, it's actually been a very dry summer overall in Spain, in the Iberian Peninsula of Portugal and Spain. It's usually their driest time of the year, but it's actually been below average.
Absolutely. But with that flooding coming in, especially in parts of Portugal and western Spain, like you said, they haven't seen those drier than normal conditions. But when you have that, and then you get a lot of rain, you get moist roads, slicker roads from all that moisture, and that's not something we want to see. Definitely more dangerous conditions out there.
No, yes, the flash flooding is going to be a risk over there. And even the capital city of Madrid hasn't got any rain in the month of August, so now we're going to actually send it over to Casey as he breaks it down in the U.S.
Thanks so much, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at those current conditions across the nation. We see right now here in the southeast, 84 here in the metro. Temperatures a little bit warmer as we get up toward Memphis and Dallas, 90 Memphis, 96 Dallas. But you can see a pretty clear delineation between areas like Memphis and Kansas City. Only 62 degrees right now there in western Missouri, eastern Kansas. Much cooler conditions, and that's being caused by a cool front, which is going to try to have an influence on bringing us some extra rain that we'll be talking about throughout this show as we get into your Sunday. This rain is already into areas around Kansas City, also extending down toward Lubbock, Texas. Some heavy rain in those communities, and in our areas here in Florida, there is a lot of rain. Extensive rainfall, Tallahassee down toward areas around Orlando. In fact, we'll take a closer look at that. And we see areas in toward northeast Florida, also central Florida, Orange County, Orlando, Jacksonville, Duval County, getting into some heavy rainfall at this hour across the state. So we'll keep an eye on those conditions. They're trying to move toward us just a little bit. So hopefully we'll get by without not too much rain. But unfortunately, it looks as if we're going to get into a little bit of rainfall around the area. Taking a little closer look, we do see some of this rain already in toward areas like Suwannee and Hamilton County. We'll be talking about that a little bit more throughout this show. Watches and warnings across the nation. You can see severe thunderstorm watches in effect areas like St. Louis, up towards Chicago. Also another watch box, including areas around Detroit, meaning severe thunderstorms are possible, ending close to the watch area. Closer look, even a few warnings right now, and one in central Illinois, quite a few around northern Indiana and western Michigan as well. Severe thunderstorm warnings occurring, or severe thunderstorms are occurring in those warning areas that are in the orange. We'll watch that. Also a flooding potential in the southwest. We'll be keeping an eye on here in this future cast. Let's just focus though on our weather here a little bit. We see that there is some rainfall that could have an effect on the football game on Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that. Go out and enjoy that game. But unfortunately, you probably do need to bring a poncho. That game at 7:30, some showers expected. Tonight, 73 degrees, a nice evening here, and tomorrow, 94 degrees with cooler conditions starting to make their way a little bit closer along with some rainfall. Right now, though, we'll go ahead and take it over to that second local forecast with Ulysses.
Thanks, Casey. As we look at those current conditions at this hour, it's actually comfortable, I guess you can say, when it comes to temperatures. 84 degrees thanks to those thunderstorms that came by about an hour or so. Those winds coming out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Satellite radar all throughout the Big Bend. A lot of cloud cover now beginning to come, especially from the southeast. You notice it's dominating from southeast to northwest. The good news is that those temperatures are going to drop from those 90s we saw earlier this afternoon. Temperatures all throughout, 80s. Enjoy them, folks, because it's been a toasty summer so far, especially at this time of the day. 84 in Bainbridge, 84 in Tallahassee, even 73 in Perry. Cool spot. Loving it. But Mariana, still toasty with that sizzle at 92, and even Wilma at 97. Dew points, very sticky. All that ick factor all around. It's not really going to change as we go into our Saturday or Sunday. So just remember that, folks. It's going to be uncomfortable, especially if you're going to go tailgating and go into that game against the Citadel. Go Noles. The winds coming out of the south between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Nothing's really going to change when it comes to those winds as we go into our Saturday as well. Satellite radar all to the southeast, just pop-up storms from that daytime heating, especially over Louisiana and Mississippi. That low pressure just off the coast of the Atlantic, bringing more storms over the Sunshine State. Majority of the Sunshine State has been enjoying that rain all summer, but we definitely need that rain because we've been under a drought. The futurecast for the next 24 to 36 hours, that southerly flow will continue. The storms will begin to taper off as we go into the evening. We'll have a quiet morning overall for our Saturday, but just remember with that daytime heating, those storms will return. So just have that umbrella handy as we descend into our evening on Saturday. Tonight though, just go down to the downtown get down. Temperatures are going to fall towards 84 degrees. Hit and miss storms. Most of those storms will begin to taper off right after sunset thanks to that daytime heating. Those winds coming out of southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Just enjoy it out there. Great Friday night overall. As we go into our tonight's forecast, 72 degrees, 40% local rain, locally heavy rain is possible. Just depends where you are, and just remember, turn around, don't drown if you do see flooding in your local area. For tomorrow, Saturday, awesome. 91 degrees overall, 40% chance of rain, hit and miss storms again, and those winds coming out of the west at 5 miles per hour. And as we take a deeper look into those next 7 days, just have that water bottle handy before those umbrellas become an issue later on in the afternoon. Morning lows in the 70s, afternoon highs in the low 90s. And now we're going to send it over to John and Shane for our desk.
Just like is typical this time of year, we have those pop-up thunderstorms, and we also have hurricanes this time of year quite often. And 10 years ago on this date, we were dealing with Hurricane Francis, which was moving up the East Coast, and it was a rainmaker for most of the country.
Oh yeah, there was up to 15 inches of rain along the Nature Coast as Francis made landfall on the east coast of Florida as a Category 2 hurricane.
Yeah, it made landfall on Hutchinson Island in Florida, in east central Florida, and it actually brought rainfall all the way from Florida all the way up into New England. Some places up there were receiving 4 to 6 inches across much of the Northeast.
Yes, indeed. A decade ago when Francis made landfall, it didn't stop with Florida. It definitely soaked the entire eastern seaboard and was quite costly too.
Yeah, it cost more than $100 million between Charlie, Francis, Gene, and Ivan just at the Kennedy Space Center. These storms were so close together, they couldn't really differentiate between the storms and what damaged what at the Kennedy Space Center.
Yes, indeed. And Disney also closed for the 3rd time due to a hurricane within the same month.
Yeah, it was just a couple of rain showers, but it was a lot of wind for Disney. That's why they closed. But no wind today around Florida today, but there's a lot of rain out there.
All right, yes it is. There's a lot of rain out there. Current heat index is 90 in Tallahassee, 81 in Jacksonville. Because of all the rain that's been around Florida, there hasn't been a lot of heat for most of the Sunshine State. As you see with the current conditions, you're seeing low, high 70s, low 80s, all because we had a big washout for all of Florida. Remember that itsy bitsy spider story? It's just washing all the spiders out of Florida right now. Current dew points, you're seeing 72 in Tallahassee, 70 in Jacksonville, 70 in Tampa. Low dew points mean it is less muggy, but it's still very humid outside, which is why you're still sweating just a bit. For silent radar, like I said before, you're seeing a lot of showers, a lot of clouds all over Florida right now. And we're going to zoom in a little more about each area across Florida. Tallahassee, you're seeing a couple more pop-up showers here and there. That's washing play out, so you start seeing a little more sun here and there. But for parts of Jacksonville and Ocala, you're seeing a lot of showers right now. It's being very locally heavy rainfall for the areas, and parts of Central and South Florida, like you see West Palm Beach, you're seeing a lot more storms start to make way all over West Palm Beach, Fort Myers, and parts of Miami, Hollywood, and Fort Lauderdale. You're seeing a lot more showers as well. So we're going to take a look about just a little bit more on that. We're seeing a lot more Miami showers, so you're seeing a lot more showers starting to make its way into Miami and parts of Fort Lauderdale and Miami, as well as Dade County and Broward County as well. And we're zooming in just a little bit more about West Palm Beach, seeing a lot more showers start to make its way off the Florida coast. So again, the showers won't be lasting too much longer for parts of Florida. So we zoom out just a little bit more for the rest of Florida. Like I said, showers are just abundant all across Florida, but I won't be lasting too much longer when we start seeing later on into the weekend. Tonight's forecast, you're seeing 73 in Tallahassee, 73 Jacksonville, just high 70s for parts of Miami and Key West, and low 70s for Tallahassee and Jacksonville. Going for tomorrow, you're seeing 94 in Tallahassee, 92 in Jacksonville. Again, you're seeing a lot more showers, so if you have any plans for tomorrow, I would recommend bringing an umbrella or poncho. If you're going to go tailgating for Tallahassee, make sure you have the ponchos handy. It will be a very wet one all across Tallahassee. And for parts of Miami and Key West, you start to see a lot more showers coming to your area like we saw for most of the Panhandle. So like I said before, those showers will be most abundant for all across Florida and for most of the next couple of days. But we're going to take over to John now and see a look at the tropics.
It is coming up on the peak of hurricane season here in the Atlantic Basin, and luckily right now we are without any hurricanes across the basin, but if there were, we'd be looking back towards the east, off towards the Cape Verde Islands, and unfortunately there is a system out there that has a very low chance of development over the next week or so, but right now no activity across the Gulf or the Atlantic where we'd also expect those storms. But it's also important to look at how storms dissipate and where their moisture goes, and that's what we're going to be doing this afternoon. As our globe goes around, we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about Hurricane Norberto, and we also Norbert, and we also had Dolly dissipate, and that contributed to a lot of moisture that is starting to pop up over Mexico and some of these mountain peaks and up into Texas. And this is going to contribute to some flooding, rains from Mexico all the way up into the Midwest over the next week or so. Norbert right now spinning away just off the coast of Cabo San Lucas right now. This is going to push off towards the north, and this is kind of a rare situation for this area for a system that is expected to become a stronger hurricane up towards the north and could actually impact some parts of Southern California over the next few days. Right now, the stats outside are that winds are at 90 miles an hour, so this is a Category 1 hurricane, and this is going to be pushing, again, off towards the north and northwest over the next couple of days. You can see Norbert off the coast of Big Sur down towards the south. This is going to push off towards the north and northwest, really kind of die out in those very chilly waters off the California coast. But that moisture is already beginning to stream on up towards southern New Mexico. You can start to see the radar pick up from southwestern Texas, and this is causing some severe weather as well. This moisture feeding in from Dolly that dissipated a couple of days ago, feeding into northern Texas, up into Kansas, and some severe weather in Missouri and up into the Midwest. You can see that here with these severe thunders from watch boxes, some severe weather up there with some strong gusts and heavy rain, but there's more heavy rain off towards the west, where those two storms are coming together and providing all sorts of moisture and havoc. And some of these places have seen the end of their monsoon season, so these are really starting to rack up some rainfall totals, but this is anything that they can get out there in California, in Arizona, and Utah is anything that's welcome, and this is a rare situation for both the drought out there and also for the hurricane. So they're coming together. Hopefully we can equalize some things out there. Currently across the area, 73 degrees, or for tonight, 73 degrees in Tallahassee. It's going to be fantastic. The rain is starting to dissipate across the Big Bend area right now. A couple of showers still around the Apalachicola area up towards the Wakulla coast there. 94 degrees for tomorrow's forecast. We're looking much warmer, but those showers are going to be around for the game day forecast. We'll be talking about all of that and some more events as well. There's a lot going on tonight and tomorrow with the first football forecast for Tallahassee, and there's a lot of showers just to match that number of events here in Tallahassee and the Big Bend.
Yes, we imagine that for every event going on tonight, there's a thunderstorm out there with its name on it. At least we hope not.
Yeah.
So starting off here in Tallahassee, already commencing on Adams Street, the downtown Get Down began at 6 p.m.
Yeah, if you get out there, or even on Kleeman Plaza where they started with the block party, those two are right in the same area. You can go back and forth and get all the gator, the fried gator you want, and all the food and fun and games and all that sort of thing. They both go until 10 o'clock tonight.
Yes, I think Seminoles should be picking up some fried gator. In fact, I heard that the Marching Chiefs will be making an appearance downtown this evening.
Sounds good to me, right?
Yes.
And the showers should be dissipating, so I think you're gonna work in some good times down there with just a couple of clouds passing through. It's gonna be a little bit muggy though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dress in light clothing, mesh shorts, and a t-shirt if you've got them.
The garnet and gold, right?
Yes, definitely. But to cap things off tonight, let's send it out for one last local with Braden.
Thank you, Shannon. No, we're going to be having a lot of fun tonight before the first game. Let's talk about the next couple days, though, see where we're going to be ending up. If you're walking around campus tonight, 84 degrees, so not too bad. A little humid outside, 66% your relative humidity. So you can feel a little moisture out there. That onshore flow from the ocean really bringing that moisture in, giving us those scattered thunderstorms off the sea breeze, different things like that. Good evening to you, Monticello. You're sitting at 88 degrees. Thomasville up at 82. Apalachicola still 89, and Marietta still sitting in the 90s, 92 degrees for you. So I haven't cooled down quite yet, but hang on. We're going to get to you, and we are going to cool down those temperatures. Satellite radar, again, showing that rain starting to make its way in from the east. Cloud cover has definitely increased over the last hour, really over all of Florida, with moisture coming in, converters bringing those clouds up and creating that rain coming into our area. Nice little shower just east of Tallahassee, making its way toward Carabel. So if you're out there in the next couple hours, just make sure you're cautious. You might see that rain out there, but we'll take another look at the bigger picture. Low pressure system all to our coast. It's going to dissipate a little bit. That onshore flow continuing to bring us thunderstorms. And as we zoom in, it's going to be clearing by morning, but it's not going to be clear for that long. As we go into the evening, that sea breeze is going to start picking up again. Mix of clouds and rain and even some sunshine tomorrow, But by game time, 73, or at 7:30, probably sitting in the upper 80s, maybe still the low 90s, but a scattered shower is possible. Game probably not going to be a washout, but you do want to bring a poncho or something protective. Again, no umbrellas in Doak, so you want to make sure that you're not bringing that. But definitely some rain gear, something to keep you covered during the game. There might be a short delay, but it's not going to be like UF last week. We're not going to get a game canceled from a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms. On the water tomorrow, we are going to see a smooth to light chop, but a moderate chop when those storms make their way over. Sunrise tomorrow at 7:17 a.m., so if you're getting up for the early tailgate, you might even see a little bit of the sunrise. Sunset out at 7:54, about at the end of the first quarter, right after the game starts. Waves. It's the Gulf of Mexico. You're never going to get good waves out in the Gulf of Mexico. Not great surfing, but the wind, southwest, 5 to 10 knots. So if we're looking at tonight, 72 degrees, scattered thunderstorms, call it about 40% with some locally heavy rainfall. Tomorrow, looking at 91, warm to partly sunny, some afternoon thunderstorms. Again, it's not going to be a washout for the game. If you want to bring something maybe for just a short delay, may want to go under the bleachers. You know how we walk into Doak, under, coming up. We work our way up. But as we fly into Doak Campbell Stadium for your game day forecast, Florida State taking on the Citadel, 86 degrees. We're calling it at kickoff at 7:30. Winds, again, still coming off the shore, south-southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour. But it is going to be a wonderful game. Maybe a little bit of rain, but not too much. As we look at the week ahead, Sunday after the game, your post-game activities are going to be washed out. Let's call it 80%, 60% on Monday. Then we're drying out just a little bit. Low 90s, bringing in the rest of the week. Let's send it back to the desk to finish off this Friday show.
If music isn't quite your thing and you want to tend towards art, there's a lot going on at Railroad Square tonight. It is September 5th, the first Friday of September. So it is first Friday down at Railroad Square. So there's a lot going on down there, a lot of art being detailed and some music as well and some food too.
Yes, indeed. A wonderful social event to get everyone outside while it's not raining here in the capital of Florida.
Yeah, now going into tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a little bit trickier because there's going to be a couple of more showers passing through the area, especially into late tomorrow afternoon into evening.
Yes, and that's game time. So the best we can tell everyone is bring ponchos, bring rain boots, bring a towel to sit on in case the bleachers get wet, but don't bring your umbrellas. They're not allowed in Doak.
Yeah, if you are planning for just a general weekend, tomorrow will be the better day of the two. Sunday, we're talking a little bit more shower activity. Some of those showers from just east of here are going to be working their way into the area, so that 80% chance will be in your neighborhood.
Indeed, we have a very wet start for next week, but fortunately things will be cooling down. And that's our broadcast for this Friday night, so if you like us, follow us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter as well. We'll be posting updates on the game there, the game forecast. You can always watch us on live stream every night. I am meteorologist Jonathan Bellis.
And I'm student meteorologist Shane Pendleton.
And we're wishing you a dry Friday night and a great game tomorrow. Go Noles and have a great weekend.